Hello, homeschoolers and new homeschool moms and families. I just want to say thank you so very much for taking the time to watch this video. My only reason for creating this video is because I know that homeschooling can be overwhelming. From my own personal experience, starting back in 2017 as a new homeschool mom, I did not know what to do. I was going from the one trying to be just like the school and then trying to be open to doing something different, because in homeschool you can do things different. In homeschool there are no rules like in the public school and private school systems, and just trying to find that balance. For you guys who are doing your best to just keep your children's education continued and just supporting the healthy practices that the public schools and the private schools have instilled in them, I want to just give you guys ways to just cultivate a great home and a healthy environment for your children. So the first thing I want you guys to start off with is your goals. You as a caregiver, you as a mom, you as a dad, what are your actual goals during this time of homeschooling your children? Now, these goals can go from high level goals like, I'm preparing them for these tests, or I'm desiring them to, completely change their mindset, or we're going to be losing 10 pounds as a family. Like, I don't know where your kids are and I don't know exactly what their needs are, but I do believe that everything does start with the goals. With goals, I am a full-time accountability coach, meaning that every single day I hold my women accountable to the lives that they desire to live, accountable to the different goals and desires that they have for their own life. And it all just starts out with us being very specific of what we want to do during this time. So I want to ask you, what are your goals for this time? Overall, for your family unit, what are some things that you would like to get done? Do you have goals for your household where it comes to cleaning and organizing, getting rid of things? Because this is the perfect time for you guys to go through closets and go through your clothes and go through bins of paper or whatever you have in your house. Like, this is the perfect time for, as a household, our goal is to clean up our house. As a household, I would like us to also get a lot healthier. I want us to incorporate more fruits and vegetables and different things like that in our household. I want us to spend more time studying God's word. As a unit, that is a goal. So when you know what your overall goal is for your family, it's a lot easier for you to create curriculums and schedules so that you guys can thrive. But if you don't know where you're going, then you're literally just going to be just moving and doing things that have no meaning. Okay, so I want you to get very specific on what are my goals for this next 2 weeks while my children are at home with me. What do I want to make sure that they learn? What do I want to make sure is done in our households, with our spirits, with our minds, and our physical bodies? What are the goals? All right. After you know your overall goals that you want to affect your entire household, I want you to take each and every child and you decide, as the parent, as the caregiver, what goals do you have for each specific child. So in my own household, I have children on different ages, in different age range and different levels. And there are different things within curriculum and Ohio curriculum and different things like that that I want them to know a little bit more of, or want them to be stronger in different areas. Not only do I want them to be stronger in different areas when it comes to maybe mathematics. One is like a super mathematics wizard, and then another one is like an English whiz. And it's like, that's really amazing, but the one who's great in math isn't as great in literature, and the one who's really great in literature isn't as great in math. And so this is the time where you find out where your children's weaknesses are. Okay, if you are already aware, because your teachers most likely your kids' teachers have probably already told you some problem areas, maybe your specific goals for your children will be based off of their weaknesses. Like, what, he could be a little bit better in this area, or she could be doing that. So that could be a personal goal. So the first thing I needed you to know is, what is your overall goal? What is the overall goal for the household? What are the several goals that I want every person to work on? We're all getting our Bibles these next few weeks. We're all improving our diets. We're all cleaning up the house. We're all working on patience. We're all going to talk about Thanksgivingness. Am I trying to say Thanksgiving and thankfulness at the same time? But we're working on our gratitude, okay? And those are things that we've actually worked on in our household. I've created lesson plans around gratitude, thankfulness, forgiveness, and all sorts of things like that in homeschool. Because in homeschool, there are no rules. So you can talk about a lot more in homeschool than they do within schools. So the second thing I ask you guys to do is take every single child that you have, and I want you to just look at that child, or review the past 6 months, the past 3 months, and say, what is it that this kid needs? Because God has them in my household for a reason right now. They are not in the public school system or the private school system. They actually have their mom or their dad or me as the caretaker taking care of them. I have the time and the opportunity to pour into them in a way that nobody else can. So what can I focus on? Can I focus on their education? Can I focus on their attitude? Can I focus on their mindset? Can we, tighten up some things when it comes to what they're eating? But each specific child should have goals that you yourself as a caregiver or the parent is created, all right? Lastly, I need you to ask your children, because in homeschool, many homeschool moms, real homeschool moms, will tell you that the reason we're homeschooling isn't about us, it's about the kids, okay? And we make our children's needs and our children's desires a priority. I don't know many homeschool moms that are doing this for any other reason outside of their children. And when we say we make their goals and their desires a priority, that means that we are asking them, what are you interested in? The things that my children have been interested in that are not available in the public school systems at their age is engineering, is coding, is robotics, okay? Is foreign languages, all right? My children know how to actively speak 2 foreign languages that they would not have been able to learn in public schools or private schools at their age at the time that they learned them. And those are just things that we learned, okay? So you find out, what are your kids interested in? My children are also interested in entrepreneurship, and we've been working on their businesses and their business plans. This is something that the public school and the private school would not have taken the time to teach my 7-year-old, who now just turned 8 not too long ago. But when he was 7, that's what he wanted. He said, I want to do this. And we said, come this spring, we're going to actually pay for their LLCs, because that's a couple $100 that's coming out of mom and dad's pocket to make sure that their dreams come to pass. But those are some things that they were interested in. So now let's do a recap. You are aware of what every person in your household is going to be on this one level, this one frequency. We're all going to be focusing on these things, all right? You also know what each individual child will be working on these next few weeks that you've chosen. And you're also very aware, because you've asked your child, what are some things that you would like to do? Maybe your child wants to start up a YouTube channel during this time. Please support them. Maybe your child wants to write their first book. Children's books don't take long to write. Parents, encourage your children to become authors in 2020 during this time. Maybe your child wants to, start learning about a foreign language or learning about a country that you've never traveled to. This is the time for your children to actually take their greatest hours during the day, that 8 to 5 time when their minds are like soaking up everything, to learn something that they're actually passionate about learning in a healthy environment. Now, once our goals are assessed, once we know what we're doing as a household, once we know what each individual is doing, from there you decide on what curriculums, what videos, what books, what materials do you have in your house, or do you need to get so that you can help to get these goals achieved. Now, for the household goals, if you're cleaning up your house, you got your cleaning supplies, you just got to decide on what day we're going to clean up what rooms, get the garbage bags together, plot that out on your calendar, and make it happen. Now, when it comes to the educational goals, there might be one child in your household, like I explained with mine, who actually is really great at math. He's in the 2nd grade on paper, but 4th grade level in math, but he wants to be a lot further. So we're like, okay, let's keep on going, because he wants to learn more. He just wants to be quicker, even though it's like you're 2 years, you're already so advanced. But he's like, no, I still want to be more proficient at this math. I want to know it more, because he wants to make robots. He wants to win all these awards by the time he's 10 and do all these great and phenomenal things and help to change just all these different systems that he sees, like, oh, I just created a robot for this, and his imagination is so big. So what are the materials that you actually need? So for your mathematics kid, like my son, we have him, he's in the 2nd grade, but he has 4th grade math books, okay? For us, it would just be continuing to implement and to review and to find subject materials that support his growth. Not only do we go to the books, but we also go to YouTube and we go to Google and we just go find all the resources. And then in my schedule, I plot out the times where we are focusing primarily on his math. The same with my son, who in literature and reading, he can read anything. He could read and comprehend everything. But there are some words that he's like, switches the letters, okay? And I just don't understand it, but that's where he is. And that's just a part of the homeschooling process that we have to continue to pay attention to, meaning we have our flashcards, meaning we have our spelling sheets, meaning that we're doing reviews every single week just to make sure that the words he learned 2 years ago or a year ago are still the words that he knows now, and he's not mixing up any letters. So these are just things that you have to continue to practice on, as you know that there are some areas in their life that just need a little bit of focus, just like adults. There are so many things that I myself got to continue to work on, got to continue to train my brain for, because once we stop using stuff, we kind of lose it, okay? My math skills aren't as good. I'm not as quick. I was a girl who was taking all the AP this and all of that in high school, and I was like really a calculator. My brain was, and now I'm helping my kids like, I need a calculator, you know? So the areas that your children aren't as strong as they would like, or not as strong as you would like, you just have to find the materials, online resources, and I have them attached here, you guys. There's so many websites. There's so many videos on YouTube. There's so many videos on Google. There's so many free templates and free worksheets that are out there. You just got to go find it. You got to go watch it. You got to go print it out, and then it is yours, and you just teach it to your children. All right. The same thing when it comes to their own goals. You just have to find the time to get the materials, or find the videos online, or the research papers, or the books, or whatever, so that child can study those things, or you can study those things with that child. It's a lot simpler than what people try to make it seem. It's literally you just having an idea for that day, for that week, for the next few weeks of different things that you want to make sure you cover. And then you take your calendar out, you take your schedule, you take a notebook paper if you want to, and say, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're going to make sure that we're doing, this math, this English, this science, this on forgiveness, this on the book of Daniel. My kids and I just studied the book of Daniel on homeschool 2 weeks ago, which is a really good book for your children to read, especially young boys, because it just gave my boys just so much inspiration, just trusting God, and just motivation and encouragement to just believe God, and to have a closer relationship. It was just really good, really good. But that's what it's all about. It's really you just finding what is it that you want them to know. What areas of life do you desire them to be stronger in or have knowledge in? And then you take the time and your schedule and in their schedule to create lesson plans that will get them the end results. I know that for some of you guys, it just might seem like it's really overwhelming. And I want you to know that there is no one way to do this thing right. But the way I would say to do it best is just cultivate an environment that supports and encourages and uplifts your children. At school, they get torn down. At school, they get talked about. At school, they get overlooked, and they have to rush through projects to keep up with the other 22 kids in their classroom. This is the one time that they have someone that is highly invested in their future, that can be patient, because y'all don't got nowhere to go during the coronavirus, who can take the time to encourage them, that can take the time to love them, that can support them, and have all the patience that child needs. Because in 2 weeks, or whenever they go back to school, they're not going to have this real love. They're not going to have this real support. So this is that time, all right? There are no rules in homeschool. The only thing you got to do is just make sure that you support and educate your children. There is no time requirement where you're like, you gotta be in lesson 1 by 8 o'clock, and you gotta have it done by 9 o'clock, and it's not like that, okay? Homeschool is so flexible that some homeschool moms don't even start their day until the afternoon. As long as you are staying on your goal-centered plan, you are doing a great job. And sometimes when things get overwhelming, because they do sometimes, the toddlers might be doing something, and the teenagers, and everyone's just all out of sorts. Let's all chill then. We'll put the books away. Let's have some fun. Let's play. Let's get all this, whatever's inside of us, out, and let's still have a good day. This is not going to be a time that you guys are going to be defeated. It's going to be a time that you can actually support your children in a very hands-on way to assisting them in hitting their goals for this year. If you do need any help when it comes to creating the curriculum, you're like, all right, Marlia, you told me to go online, and I found these worksheets, and please just message me and let me know. You can send me an email at info@marliabrion.com. Again, that is info@marliabrion.com, and let me know how I can help you. But it simply just starts off with you just having the idea, the end result, the goal. I really want them to be more proficient in this subject, or I want them to have more knowledge about this. Then you go find the materials online or in books, and then you teach it to them. You teach it to them, you quiz them, you ask them questions, you tell them to do writing assignments and projects and have activities all centered around the subject or the goal that you wanted to develop inside of them, all right? Homeschool is a time for you and your family to really thrive in the safety of your home, where all people underneath that roof should be very supportive of the child just developing and becoming all that child was created to be. Please be very mindful of your child's needs. Also be mindful of what your child does not need. And sometimes that could be your anxiety, that could be your stress, that could be your negativity. They don't need that right now. They need mom and dad and caregivers and grandparents to just be as supportive as possible, all right? We can do this. Our children can thrive. My children are thriving. Like I said, my second grader is doing fourth grade work. My fourth grade work son is doing sixth grade work, and my 2-year-old, he's just falling in there. But I want you guys to know that everyone can thrive. Your children can learn at home, and they can learn from you. Just keep your spirits high. Be open to whatever comes and just roll with it when it happens. All right? Let me know how I can serve you. Be blessed.